Well, I will admit when I am wrong here on the morning of the 12th of December 2022. We now have a tropical storm. JMA did upgrade this to Pakhar, still known as Rosal in the Philippines, just internationally Tropical Storm Pakhar towards the northeast of Luzon. Now, no impacts in any land areas. I mean, you see the forecast track. They expect this to remain a tropical storm for a very short time period. And this is the official track from Pagasa, just kind of dwindling out into a remnant low as vertical wind shear and dry air wraps into it. But thanks to that northwesterly wind kind of kicking around this, we just saw this burst of convection over a short period of time, allowing it to strengthen up to that tropical storm intensity. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with it. I didn't expect this to happen, but there is that burst of convection in there. Definitely, if you were in the middle of this storm, ASCAD imagery indicates that you're experiencing tropical storm strength winds. It's not the most organized storm system, but it definitely qualifies as that TS intensity as it moves off towards the north and east here. But for the Philippines, I mean, dry air is filtering around the backside of it with that cold surge. You still have gale force conditions for northern Luzon, and maybe even towards the northern areas of the Mariana Islands, not so much Guam, but back in some of those volcanic islands. Definitely could be looking at some thunderstorms as this gets sheared up and pulls towards the northeast. We see the forecast for Tuesday heading into Wednesday. I mean, this just kind of gets completely dried out as that cold surge comes in and just pummels it. But I do want to mention, look at the east coast of Luzon there. That surge is pushing in some showers for the Sierra Madre Mountains and stratiform stuff even across most of northern Luzon. So despite the fact, this is pulling away, you still have that surge coming in and interacting with it. But yeah, a tropical storm kicking off there, and it's going to weaken out as that cold surge pushes through. No big, this is probably one of the more statistical ones, a late season storm. Not the latest by any means. I've seen storms out here in the Western Pacific through New Year's. We've even seen stuff hit the Philippines on Christmas, if you remember, about 10 years ago that happened. So, not terribly out of the ordinary by any means. I think what's interesting about this one is just how it did have that burst of convection embedded within the northeast monsoon here. And see the forecast through Thursday. The easterly is really dominating. That's why the east coast of Taiwan, northeastern Luzon, down through Visayas and Mindanao, that's where the bulk of the precip is. Even central areas of Vietnam, you got the leading edge of that monsoonal rain. So for Tuesday, primarily the east coast seeing that precip, a little bit less heavy if you're in Cebu. Rojas, take back towards Mindoro, 29 degrees, Manila at 30. But then we look at region 1, kind of sunnier there on the west coast of the mountains. Well, back towards the Cagayan Valley, you see kind of some of that passing precip with temperatures into the 20s to lower 30s, high 20s, low 30s. For your highs out here. For the most of the day, you'll be into the 30s. And you see that with a 3-day outlook in Manila. Fine, light winds there. On Wednesday, 31 degrees. In Cebu, you got about 28. You got a little breezy conditions. Going to kick up to about 20 kilometers per hour, all associated with the easterlies there. Anyways, like I said, I didn't expect this to become a tropical storm. It is. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that's not a tropical storm. But I'll admit when I'm wrong. I didn't expect it to. Got to that intensity for a short period of time. Just that burst of convection. I should know better. The Philippine Sea always has a tendency to surprise. So, let's look at that. Hats out to Pagasa. They did forecast it. And, they got it right on this one. So, good job, guys. Big thanks for everybody on Patreon who wants to continue to support this channel. I always appreciate that.